Hello, I'm Raymond Nadeau. For the next week, you and I are going to be going on a whirlwind journey of exciting New York's fashion week. We're here with noted celebrity stylist Julian Farrell, talking with beautiful Carol Alt. Philip Locke, perhaps one of the most influential stylists. I'm here with Mark Weiss, and I'm speaking, of course, of Arnold Scaasi. We're here with Nikki Sixx. So if any of you have been living under a rock, Nikki is with Motley Crue. He's got a lot of other things going on, but probably the thing that shocked the heck out of the fashionista New York scene is when we read this like professional marriage, Kelly Gray, Nikki Sixx, fashion. We're like, what has happened?
What happened? As you said, Nikki, did you have like a breakdown? We're going to do like the conservative clothing line? And
My world sort of shattered at that moment.
It shattered,
and you told me some stuff about like lining, something about cuffs, and like, I want one. Could you tell people like what this is about?
Well, one of the jeans that we have, I was talking to Kelly and I said, you know what I love about having tattoos is, especially earlier when I first had tattoos, like in my 20s, they were my own personal badge of honor. And I just find out like 5 years later that one of my friends has a tattoo. He's had a tattoo for years. I never saw it. He goes, yeah, I'm kind of proud of this. But they don't, like rock stars, they don't just wear them, right on their hands. And, So I started saying, so they feel empowered, but they don't have to show it off. It's like a dirty little secret. And so we started some ideas with some of the clothing line, like on the zipper of the pants, it actually has a 7-inch ruler on it. It's just like
I really need these pants.
It's sort of amortized, so we all win. On the cuffs it says blondes are for Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and on the other cuff it says brunettes are for Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and on the waistband it says Sundays are for rest. It just, there's some fun stuff like that, as well as some really cool cut jeans that the construction of them is really important. The washes are really important. The weight of the jeans are really important. Same with the leathers. Some of our stuff is like Italian leather, really plush. And other stuff is just like nasty, ripped up Frankenstein stitched with inside, lyrics to my songs inside the jackets and stuff. And some of the T-shirts are both, some of them are a little edgier, and some of them have those dirty little secrets printed on the inside, so it's kind of fun. It's a lot of fun. You started when you were 3, right?
I did.
Yeah.
When I was very young. I mean, I started.
I know you look like a baby.
When I was like 17 or.
And you spent some time in France, right?
When I was 17 when I was in Paris. I went to the Chambre Syndicale. And then I tried to find a job. And one of the people I looked at looked at me was Christian Dior. So I had my interview with Dior. He looked at my sketches and he said, these are really good and everything. And if you wait 3 months, we'll put you on into the design room. But you have to wait 3 months. And I said, I don't want to wait 3 months. And he said, well then, go back to America. Dior said to me, the future of fashion is in America. You have a chance to go back to America and create fashion.
Wow.
I never forgot those things.
And that is in a limo in New York City with the fabulous Kathy Lee Jones. And she's going to tell us a little bit about her success and as a powerful woman from the world dominated by men, both hip-hop and now fashion, how she has taken control and how she has contributed in ways no one else I know has. But before we get into that, tell me how you got where you are. Where did you start?
So I became the fashion
flamboyant female Liberace of the hip-hop world. I became the wildest woman that you could imagine with the clothes. Like Don King with the hair, I did it with the clothes.
I'm here with Mark Weiss. Mark Weiss really has lived rock for like the last 25, 30 years, whatever. How many years?
It's 1978, I like to say.
Okay, 78. So for a while. And, you know, he's had a life I think most of us would probably really envy. So maybe, and he's now the owner of a rock icon in terms of a brand. But before we get there, maybe just a couple seconds about like what you and rock have in common and what the fascination's been.
Well, I've always been a rock fan. I mean, before a photographer, before anything, I just used to go to concerts. And then I kind of got a little, you know, antsy and I wanted to do more. I wanted to be close to the stage. And I saw an opportunity. Like when I was 14, I started mowing a lawn, and he gave me a camera at the end of it, and I grabbed it out of the closet and started shooting concerts, basically to meet girls and hang out and try to hang out with the rock and roll people. Figured I'd take some pictures and show them. So my first break was with Aerosmith. I just shot them last night, but the first break was I shot Aerosmith at Giant Stadium in 1978, and they weren't letting anyone photograph them. And I snuck in, took pictures, and ended up in Circus Magazine as a centerfold. And then Steven saw it, asked the manager who took it, and the next thing you know it, I'm working for them and on the road. And then Van Halen took off, and because the music changed and rock scene, the magazine didn't want to change, so they didn't change. And now what we're doing now is we're picking it back up where it left off.
And it's
true
now,
rock and roll, you know?
I mean, I know you've resurrected it on a website, you've got under projects, under whatever, but like, what's this with the clothes? Like, what was the inspiration?
Well, all those bands that I mentioned before, it was about style, and they made their own style. Now what we're doing is we're taking the style, and we're not just going to be t-shirts. We're going to be full-on clothing line inspired by true rock and roll like icons like Marky Ramone. And, you know, like they were the first ones to really publicly display ripped jeans. They had it in the knees. And, you know, the reason why they had ripped jeans is because they couldn't afford anything else, and they wore the same pants every day. And from that went there. So that's going to be something that we're going to be taking to the streets pretty soon. Listen up, America. I want my beauty fashion TV.
Welcome behind the scenes of Beauty and Fashion with Michael Volbrecht, the creative force behind the classic yet forever modern Bill Blass collection. And we're
Thank you.
Yeah. And you know, walking around today, what I loved is you have something for a woman of every age.
We have the most beautiful mannequins. Our cabinet, I think, are the most beautiful girls. You'll see the 16 of the most beautiful girls in the world. And they are to complement really classic clothes. And you're right in saying that we have a great dichotomy of young and sophisticated clothes. In the audience today, you're going to meet Kitty Carlisle Hart, who's 95 years old, one of the great legends in New York. And you have Janet Jackson, who is legendary 40-year-old.
Yeah.
So we dress from that age to that age, and lots of people in between.
Do you foresee someday when perhaps this couture might have an additional like sub-collection that might find distribution at, you know, other price points?
That's exactly what Alchemist is. The Alchemist, which is what you saw, is more of an affordable, ready-to-wear, more on a Macy's level, Robinson's May for the West Coast.
I know, because I thought that's the stuff that was $10,000 a gown.
Now, there were pieces that are like that. It was mixed up. He has all kinds of different pieces. When we review the film, I'll show you which ones are in the higher price point, and I'll show you which ones are in the more, you know, mainstream price point. He realizes now that he has to go mainstream. Everyone is going mainstream now, and they did a big piece on that with Nicole Miller on CNN yesterday, where they were talking about high fashion going mainstream at the Kohl's level, these stores, you know. So even Walmart now is getting ready to do a deal with a major designer.
Hey, this is Nikki Sixx. Stay tuned for more beauty and fashion. We'll be coming right back.